We are back, and it's party time because we've got some of our favorite colleagues, don't tell everybody else, with us this round. We've got Elle, we've got Keith, we've got Aaron, and I know they like to party, and you like spicy food.
Yes.
I heard you might like margaritas.
Well, just a little bit.
Actually, this much.
Well, you know who makes the best margaritas in the world?
Oh, me.
Bridget is famous for these margaritas. I loved developing these for obvious reasons. The key, though, is making your own margarita mix. It's really easy to do. One of the keys is using both lemons and limes for giving that super bright flavor. So I've already gone ahead and zested them. This was the other key. Great sour mix starts with zest. That's 4 teaspoons of lemon zest. I'm going to start to zest the lime zest off here. I'm looking for 4 teaspoons of this. All right. So that's going to take a little bit of time, which gives me time to make the steak tacos. And this just aren't any steak tacos. These are Keith's steak tacos. Ooh.
They are.
Now, you developed this recipe, what, almost 20 years ago?
Yeah, I think I was
You're a baby.
14, 13, 14. yeah.
And it's indoor steak tacos. So you tried to mimic the char that you'd get on the grill, but
Exactly.
inside.
Exactly, yeah.
So and it starts with the marinade, and we're going to use the food processor to make the marinade. So we have 3 scallions. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a head start before we put them in the food processor. All right, so that was 3 scallions, 3 garlic cloves, and 1 jalapeno. You guys have any tips for telling if your jalapenos hot? Is it like 1 in 10 or spicy?
Open it up and try it.
Try it, yeah. All right, Keith.
Bite it.
Why am I volunteer for this?
Just
It's
a
your
little,
recipe.
just rip off a little
Oh,
piece.
it's my recipe,
Yeah,
so
there
I
you
have
go.
to try the jalapeno?
Yeah.
It's spicy?
It'll make
Okay,
you
all
really
right.
hungry for the
Oh! No, I'm just kidding.
spicy one or no?
No.
All right, that's the last lime. Now I'm just going to start juicing. I just need a half a cup of juice. All right, so into the food processor goes the jalapeno. Now we're going to add some cilantro, half a cup of cilantro leaves, and a little bit of cumin. Half a teaspoon of cumin.
And the seeds? We're going to put the seeds in there?
Yes, all in.
Take seeds.
Bring it.
All in. All right. All right, we're just going to pulse this together. About 10 pulses. All right, so that looked good.
That's
You
really
sure that
bad.
wasn't
Spicy.
spicy?
Don't worry about it.
That was a 1/4 cup of oil. Now we're going to turn this into a paste. I'm going to let it rip for about 15 seconds. All right. Oh, yeah. You got to smell this.
Oh, man.
Right?
That's so good. Why would you ever buy a marinade in store when you can make something like that, right?
It's so simple.
All right, I'm going to mix the 2 juices together. So again, that was a half a cup of lemon juice, half a cup of lime juice. So for a cup of liquid, I'm only going to use a 1/4 cup of sugar. This is super fine sugar, just dissolves easier. There's a little pinch of salt in here too. And all that zest gets dumped right in there too. And this is really important. The zest has different flavors than the juices, a lot more potent, a lot more of those volatile oils. But thyme is really our best friend here. So I'm going to put a piece of plastic. We're going to let all this sit a minimum of 4 hours. You can do it overnight. I'm going to put this in the fridge. All right, so here's the paste. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons and separate it out. We're going to add this to the cooked steak at the end, just reinforce that flavor.
Yes.
And this is where the acidity goes in, right? The acidity doesn't go in the marinade because that'll make the meat mushy. So a tablespoon of lime juice.
Nice.
You like adding the marinade?
I
at the
That
end?
was a great idea.
Yeah. I wonder who came up with that?
Brilliant.
Now for the meat. You tried so many different cuts of steak,
Yeah.
and I loved tasting them all.
Yeah.
I was so happy when we landed on flank steak because it is my favorite cut of meat. It's not too expensive. It has a really good beefy flavor, and I love the chew. You cut it into long strips. So 4 long strips with the grain. Now, the next thing that you taught me was to poke with a fork 10 times on each side.
Exactly 10 times.
Yep.
on each side.
Actually, I think you
That
see.
was 9.
Well, this helps the marinade penetrate, obviously, and the salt.
Was
1,
this your
2,
first
3,
recipe
4,
you
5,
developed
6,
for the
7.
magazine?
I don't think so. But it was pretty close. Yeah.
What was your first recipe?
It's a stir fry with
That's
a
noodle
noodle
cake.
cake. Yeah. And my kids have actually made a song out of the spicy chicken stir fry with crispy noodle cake. Yeah, that's
There's a
that's
jingle?
that's the title. That's the jingle at the house. Yeah.
All right, so a little bit of salt, a teaspoon and a half of table salt. All right, so on goes the marinade without the lime juice.
Yep.
And you want to let this sit at least 30 minutes, but you can do this easily up to a day ahead, especially if you're having a party. All right, I'm going to wash my hands. Again, wrap this, goes in the fridge, at least 30 minutes, but up to a day. All right. Ah! So with our steak tacos, how about a little sweet and spicy pickled onions?
Ooh.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yeah, it's very easy to make. This is a cup of red wine vinegar. That's the tart. And I've got a 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of table salt. And here's the spicy part. We've got 2 more jalapenos. We're going to bring these up to a simmer over medium-high heat. All right, let me just take this off the heat. The sugar is dissolved. Smell that, but not too close. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, it smells good.
And I'm going to pour this right over the onions. All right, I'm going to cover this with some plastic, just loosely. And we want to leave this to cool down for about 30 minutes.
All right.
All right.
The steak is now wiped clean of most of that marinade. I'm going to sprinkle it with a little pepper and a little sugar. Again, trying to get that char in the pan that you get out on the grill. All right, so both sides. We have a 12-inch skillet here. Now, this is one of the recipe changes that I've made over the years because the recipe calls for a nonstick skillet,
Yeah.
which works really well. But I love using a cast iron because I feel like I can get it really hot and I don't have to worry about it. And I think it gives a little bit more of a char. So
Okay, you can change my recipes. Don't worry about
it's
it.
just a pan choice. And we're gonna let this oil heat up. You want it to be smoking because you want a good char. Pan's hot. All right, so because these are nice long strips, we can brown the sides. Again, that's why we did it, more surface area, more browning. So about 3 minutes on the first 2 sides, and then I'll stand them up and do the sides on the end. Looking for about 125, which is more of a medium than a medium rare, which we like. With flank steak, we like a little more of a cook
Exactly.
on it
Yeah.
because it actually is more tender.
Yep.
Love what you're watching? Take your cooking to the next level with our Essential membership. Get instant access to thousands of recipes, tips, techniques, product reviews, and step-by-step videos. Our members app allows you to search by ingredient, set dietary preferences, and save your favorite recipes. For those looking to level up, our newest feature, ATK Classes, offers more in-depth instruction led by ATK experts so you can gain greater confidence in the kitchen. Start your free trial by visiting the App Store or going to americastestkitchen.com/YouTube today.
They've been on 3 minutes each side. Now I've turned them because they're nice long sort of planks to get them browned on the side. And I'm using the Insta-Read thermometer here because they're slightly different sizes just to make sure they can all come off at the right temp. Perfect. 127.
Let's go.
Those are gorgeous.
They are.
Yeah.
If I say so myself.
I mean, they're all right.
All right, you gotta let them rest. Obviously, there's some carryover cooking. Then we can come back and hopefully have some margaritas.
Hopefully.
You know what time it is?
Taco time?
Yeah, and margarita.
Margarita time?
Yes. All right. So the meat has rested. So I'm just going to slice this nice and thinly across the grain.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh, medium rare.
That looks fantastic.
All right. So it's going to take me a little bit to slice this all up, and then I'm going to put it in that marinade that we reserved with that little bit of lime juice. In the meantime, I'm really getting a little thirsty.
Is anyone thirsty in here?
I was saving room for my margarita.
Like the way you think. All right, so a few things left to do. A little update here. This was the juice that sat overnight and I strained it. So I've got about a cup of the lemon and lime juice in here. So great margarita is your mix, the tequila, and some sort of triple sec. This is a really lovely dry curacao, and this is a cup. So this is tequila. This is a gorgeous reposado tequila. You can tell by that color. Reposado just means rested, and that means that it's aged in barrels, usually oak barrels, anywhere from 2 to 11 months.
Bridget, how long did testing go?
No, I'm
Probably
still
went out a
testing.
little longer than
6.5
You
years.
know what I mean? I think we're still testing.
I'm still testing them as we speak. And then about a cup of ice. And I just have to stir this up. All right, time to put all this beautiful meat into that reserved
Wow.
marinade. Yeah.
I just want to brag a little bit. Can we take a minute?
Yeah.
Or maybe 5 minutes. No. So I took this comment from the website when I was looking at our steak taco recipe, which I developed. And I just want to read it out loud. Made me feel good. So this set a new standard for tacos, exclamation point. The marinade was exceptional. That was written by Lori. So
Elle.
I didn't know your mother's name was Laura.
I know. Sincerely, Mrs. Dresser.
Bridget, I also went to the website to see what folks were thinking about your margarita. Anne Marie said, in fact, Bridget, this is why we love you. This was the best margarita ever. It went deliciously well with our farm-to-table dinner of your guacamole and fresh corn straight from the garden.
Sweet. Nailed it.
Mic drop.
Signed Bridget.
That's right. I told Anne Marie the check was in the mail.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pour, and I'm going to strain out the ice that was in the pitcher.
It's kind of nice to be on this side of the table.
I know. I'm getting used to this.
I know.
Same time, same place tomorrow.
Wedge of lime here. All right. Look at you two with your cocktail napkins already. That's for you.
You shouldn't have. It smells so good. My mouth is watering so much
Keith
right
is
now.
rubbing his hands
I know.
together over here. He's ready to go.
Some cilantro. Oh, and onions. Oh, right. Yeah. There you go, friend.
Thanks, neighbor.
Package it up
That's
as
hilarious.
promised.
Travel.
That
with
is
onions.
hilarious.
These were simply strained, and then they'll stay in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks.
I like
That's
this.
Keith's, that one.
Extra jalapeno.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now that's how you make a taco.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those onions are so like sweet and tart
So good.
and crunchy. It's like
The
a
jalapenos
nice.
are really hot.
Oh, you got the extra.
You can see why this is a fan favorite. I
Oh.
mean, it's
Oh, yeah.
easy. You taste the meat, you have the freshness and the char.
Oh, it's delicious.
But I'm thirsty.
That's delicious.
The zest really comes out in those margaritas.
Yeah. Well done.
Thanks.
Life is good.
Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
That was fun to reminisce.
Cheers, y'all. You guys are the best.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
If you're ready to take your cooking to the next level, head over to americastestkitchen.com and get a free trial of our ATK Essential membership. While you're there, you can sign up for our free email newsletters and download our app. So, what are you waiting for?